and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Simply Wholesome Home. Today we're going to be making your very own beeswax wraps. So let's get started. For your beeswax wraps is some beeswax, an iron, an old towel or piece of cloth, and of course a piece of fabric, cotton fabric that you've cut to your desired size, some parchment paper, and optional is some peeking shears. Peeking shears are zigzag scissors that help to prevent fraying on the edge of our fabric. So why beeswax wraps? Beeswax wraps are great as an alternative to plastic wrap to wrap our food. They are reusable over and over and over again, so they're also eco-friendly, and when you can make them at home, they're cost efficient as well. So what I've got here is my 10" by 10" fabric, and I've just ironed that flat, and this is pre-washed fabric. Make sure you wash your fabric before you start. And I've also got my beeswax here. So the way that I'm going to do this is I'm going to sprinkle my beeswax on top. So I did buy this beeswax as pellets, and I used my Thermomix to blend them up so they're a bit finer and easier to spread around. But you can also get beeswax bars and grate them with your box grater. I didn't realise that it was going to be harder with the pellets, so this is my alternative, but feel free to use a bar of beeswax and grind it at home. Next, I'm going to just sprinkle an even layer over top of my piece of cotton fabric. So I want the side with the pattern facing up. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So I'm going to try not to get it onto the shirt, but if I do, at least I know it's not going to ruin my ironing board. So you want a nice even layer. You want to get all the way to the corners, because if you don't have an even layer, it won't stick as well. Just going to finish up a little bit more here. Alright, almost done. These are super easy if you have the right materials. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is use my parchment paper and put that straight on top. And I'm going to use, this is to protect my iron from getting wax on it. Then I'm going to use my iron to press the beeswax into the piece of fabric. So I'm just going to go evenly along, and you're going to start to see it turns the fabric a darker colour. So take your time. Alright, I'm starting to see a bit more of an even coat, but I also see a few spots where I need to add a little bit more wax. So once I finish melting what's on there, I'm going to lift up the paper and add a little bit more wax. Wow, this is like steamy. Alright, let's add a little bit more wax. I can see some lighter pieces here, and that's where I know that there's not as much wax, and even some plain pieces that don't have any wax on them. So I'm just going to spread the wax over these sections and then iron it again. So this piece of fabric cost me $2, and I have plenty more, which I'm going to use to make into a whole bunch of other things. You don't have to spend a lot on it. You could use an old cotton shirt, you could use a napkin or a tablecloth, so you don't need to go out and buy expensive fabric for this project. I love picking up my fabric from op shops and in the remnant section at my local fabric store. Alright, that's looking a bit better. My wax paper on again and go one more time over the top of the Okay, so this is covered in beeswax. I'm going to let that dry and then I'm going to go around the edge with my picking shears. So I've already got one made here that I've used quite a few times. Basically how it would work is if this was my bowl, I'll just cover this up so I don't spill. I can use the heat to mold it around and seal my food inside. So I'm hoping that by being able to make my own, I can save money on costs. So this is quite cool already, which is great. I'm going to go around the edge with my peeking shears and cut that on the edge so it doesn't fray. So when you're doing your cutting, you're measuring to cut out your square, factor in that you're going to be cutting around the edge with your peeking shears, if you have them. It's not essential, it's just going to reduce the amount of fraying on your fabric and help it to last longer. So if you evenly coat this, it should last up to 3 to 6 months before you have to re-coat it with more beeswax. Eventually you do need to recycle these and make new ones, but they last a lot longer than cling wrap, which is single use, and it's a really economical option if you can make them at home. So this is the perfect size for a small bowl or some antipasto or some cheese or dips, and you can make them big or small, whatever you like. Sometimes you could easily make these as a nice gift for your friends if you wanted to. They're really versatile. So here is the finished product. My beeswax wrap. Show you that. And go right around there, like that. Or you can, let's pretend these scissors need wrapping. You can fold them up just like that. If you liked this video, please hit like and subscribe below, and leave us a comment if you have any questions or if you have any other ideas for helpful DIYs that we can do to reduce waste and save money around the home. Thank you so much for watching. See you later.